This is episode 1 of Here's the Craic podcast. So we're going to talk about why we decided to start a podcast. I'm Thomas.
Shay. I'm Ross. I'm Ross.
And I'm Shay.
And we have started to make a podcast for the sole purpose of the fact that we just wanted to make a podcast. So yeah.
Well, I think we just started getting into the podcast. I think all of us sort of started proper getting into it at the same time, listening to different ones. And me and you were talking one day, and we were sort of just said should we give it a go?
Mm-hmm.
You were saying you're real into the sort of Irish comedian, Northern Irish comedian podcasts, the likes of
Colin Geddes. And basically, I think the way it worked was we were sitting one day and I kind of was just we just need to start a podcast because we talk about it all the time. And then Shay got roped into doing it through Thomas. And so now we're here and we have a podcast. It's called the Here's the Craic podcast. We have it up on the screen via HDMI for all the visual viewers.
Shout out to Shay for creating the logo.
All number one, all one of you. It is really weird because I feel like we talk and you don't know who's going to be listening to this or how many people are going to be listening to this. If anybody, it'll just be us and people that we know who've been can you listen to this podcast? Try and get the views up. So yeah, dear only knows, but we'll get there eventually. So yeah. What we're going to talk about again?
Just why we started the podcast.
Okay.
Right, so we'll start off here. I'm Thomas. Ross. I'm at Ross through uni, where we study marketing together. Me and Shay went to high school together, so we've known Shay for a good while now. You study architecture.
Yeah, so basically I study architecture, these two do marketing. I'm sort of in a different field to them, but I do enjoy the nature of marketing and all this sort of social media. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So
we have tried to set this podcast up in a way that was going to be very easy, but we failed in terms of we've tried this once, it failed, and then we came back. The first time we done it was actually pretty decent. I thought
Yeah.
the content
some
was
good content. Yeah. But now we're at that struggle now where we didn't have the audio quality. Now we've circled back to restarting it again, and then the audio, the machines have taken over.
I think we started at 2 o'clock and now it's
What time?
quarter to 5.
Quarter to 5. Yeah,
So
we failed miserably. But if anybody knows how to set up a proper podcast, please get in touch because I have no clue. Why did we start a podcast? We started a podcast.
Just wanted to give it a go. I think, listening to other Northern Irish ones, I think we sort of just wanted. There isn't that what we're saying. You sort of like the comedians, and I sort of listen to the likes of the Best of Belfast one and more the interview style ones. And then obviously your popular ones Impulsive and the True Geordie podcast, and we sort of just want to take bits and pieces from them and sort of do our own thing, and see where we can go with it. We don't really know of many ones that are doing it that aren't a company or a business or or people that do them have already got a name for themselves, and then it's easy to sort of branch out into it because they've got the following then. So we sort of want to just start off from scratch and see how far we can go with it.
I feel like we all genuinely have an interest as well in sort of social media and all things social in terms of it seems like every time we're together we always seem to talk about who's doing what on social media, and I feel like we all kind of have that sort of desire to be on it and to be doing our own thing, and podcasting I think is a good way to sort of get into it in terms of you just get on, discuss things. I think what we're trying to go with is sort of this sort of discuss topics, have a bit of crack, casual vibes, casual banter.
Well, that's really it. I think that's what they expect. We're just going to talk about general topics and like hopefully get a few people on it that we think we can have interesting conversations with. And
any famous people listening, feel free to message us.
Yeah.
Get in touch and you can come on the show.
We need to sort our audio situation out because we can barely manage with 3 of us, and then getting someone else in is going to be a disaster. But yeah, what was it we were talking about then on the very first deleted
I think we were just saying
episode?
like, what ones we liked. Like, what did you like about like the whole Colin Gaddis ones and them sort of podcasts? Like?
Yeah, so like listening to them, I just found they were like, whenever I started traveling up to uni, like driving in the car, I got more into podcasts and then started listening to those sort of like the comedian ones because they were all lighthearted. They were taking actual topics though, like actual relevant topics. Yeah. Like recently, the Colin Gaddis and was it Aaron McCann or something done the Black Lives Matter podcast, and like it was actual, genuine chatting about a current event and giving people's opinions, but then also having the crack as well. Do you know what I mean? Where it's not like you're being informed, but you're not being bored or preached at.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I kind of want to take down the road with this podcast, is that I feel like when we're all together, even scrap the microphones, I feel like we all do have genuine good discussions and a bit of crack as well. So I feel like why not just not put a microphone in front of us and a few cameras and see how it goes.
I do think it's going to take a while getting used to the cameras and all of us on the mics.
Yeah.
Compared to actual normal conversation, it's a bit different now.
But you're a TikTok star, so you're used to millions of people viewing you.
I live my life in front of a camera.
No pass, please. So yeah, that's kind of where we want to take this. Is that like we're new to all this. Don't judge. Just listen. And there's hopefully we'll keep this up and have good banter. The episode 1, I feel like we're just kind of gonna chat about everything, why the podcast began. We've covered that, and where the podcast is going. We've covered that. Basically, we don't really know where it's going. We're just gonna go with the flow.
I think like that's what I'm saying. Is like taking different bits and pieces. Like you like the sort of discussion side of it. I think like I like the way the whole the Belfast thing is like to have like genuine like business owners and like the odd like person that's been on TV like and radio and all. Like they've had like Rebecca McKinney and all and people like that. And I think it's just interesting to hear like how they got to where they are today. Like it's for people listening. You might listen to them on the radio and think, fuck, like if I wanted to do that, how the fuck am I meant to get, you know what I mean? Whereas like when you actually hear someone who's like went and done it and like great successful businesses or like achieved like getting on the radio or whatever, like someone listening to that might think, fuck, well if they can do it, why can't I do it? Like?
So what you're saying is you want Rebecca McKinney on our podcast?
But you know what I mean? Like I'm just sort of saying like it's like that's what I like about that is like learning how people got to where they were, and like you sort of like the impulsive one, Logan Paul fanboy, like
yeah. Can't do any wrong, Logan Paul, these days.
What do you like?
Such a good influence.
What do you like about like that sort of podcast? Like what would you want to take from it? Like if we.
Well, I can't really say I'm into that type of podcast solely. Like I do like it, and other podcasts. One of them I was listening to was Rob's property podcast, but it's quite an informative podcast. It's about like the property market and stuff like that. It's more informative than the likes of Logan Paul thing. I think the whole point of the Logan Paul one is sort of just to get a bit of crack going, and as we are trying to do too, but it's
here's the crack.
It is a good podcast.
It is. I think the whole thing about his though, he just gets great guests on this. His guests.
Oh my word.
We're getting
there's a hurricane
in Belfast.
He just has like great guests. Obviously we'll probably not be able to get guests like
whoa, don't
Riley Reid or
fly Riley Reid over here.
Anything could happen.
I think that's what we want to do, see where we can go with it. I think like that's what we're sort of saying about ones like that have already made a name for themselves. Like it's easy for them to like sort of get, well, like I don't know, maybe it's not easy, but like it's like they have the contacts to get people like that on. So I think we sort of want to just like grow it, getting people we think that are interested on, that it might just be like people we know locally and stuff, and then grow it from there. And
I feel like we are going to sort of target that Northern Irish Irish,
demographic,
whatever
That,
you want
like-
to call it, to frig. Yeah, target that sort of market, not market. Oh my word, I make people sound like I'm flipping selling stuff to them. Target that demographic.
The salesperson in you.
Oh shit, I'm gonna get
That's
fucking
Bruno.
Is it Bruno?
threatened here.
Is that Bruno?
Yeah.
Oh, is Bruno here?
Yeah, so just get something.
Oh.
Oh.
Why did she come on? That scared the crap out of me. I heard a door open and I was like, who the frig is this?
We're getting robbed.
But yeah, I have run out of things to say. Which
Well,
is
like,
brilliant.
what was I gonna say? I feel like I've had something to say there and shit.
Oh no! He has.
Podcasters block.
He's messed it up.
We have to start again now.
Can you actually not remember what you're gonna? Oh my word, he's mind blank.
It's just gone.
Oh
It's
my
gone.
days.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, like I think what I was gonna say was, I think with like the likes of the Best in Belfast one and the likes of like the one you listen to, or I don't listen to it, like, but like they show that there is interest in people from up Northern Ireland, that like you can get on it. You don't have to like just get celebrities on just to try and fucking grow it. Like, you know, like it can just be genuine people. And I think that's sort of want to start anyway and see where we go from there.
We have something to offer, but we just haven't figured out what we have to offer yet.
Yeah.
So this is, I think this is the main. This is what I was saying actually the other day to, who was it? It was Lucinda or Adam, one of the two. But they were like, why are you starting a podcast? And I was like, I don't honestly know. Like, I've no real like explanation for it. I feel like it's just something that we all thought, yeah, we're gonna do this, and it'll come. Like, do you know what I mean? A bit of Craic, a bit of Ranting as well. Because the world has been a very, very weird place in the past few weeks.
A few months like
With Miss Rona
2020
spreading her negative vibes. And this, now we're out. I say we're out of it, but we're not, 6 people can meet up indoors now.
Yeah, so
What a victory!
Haters listening,
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
for anyone listening that's wondering why we're talking about cameras and stuff, we're gonna have a YouTube channel and we're gonna have social media channels as well. So
A big Netflix
we're not
brand deal
just
coming up.
filming ourselves to just watch it back. It will be somewhere.
But yeah, the world has been a weird place over the past few weeks, and I feel like it is weird now being out and about, and like me being in somewhere that's not my house
Yeah,
is weird.
I know, it's gonna take a while to get back to normal. I think just even like pubs and stuff reopening, like it's just not gonna be the same.
And now people are saying that yeah, we're coming out of it, but we'll also be going back into it again. I've heard them negative vibes. It was apparently America,
Yeah,
like
it was.
spiked again, and they're
I can't
thinking of
remember
going.
the state that it was in, but I think it was the one that first let everyone back into the pubs and clubs and all. They reopened them, and it was that specific place that spiked again.
Oh dear.
And plus winter time, it's apparently there's going to be a spike in winter time whenever everyone's immune systems are down as well. So
Oh wow,
we could be expecting round 2.
you've really looked into this, haven't you?
You know,
He doesn't.
He's
Have it. He doesn't-
educated.
He doesn't have it open on his laptop. Right?
I don't.
Do you?
I just typed in coronavirus.
Oh, right, COVID-19.
I was trying to find out which state it was in.
I did see a graph though the other day from America that basically had like went down considerably and then it spiked back up again,
Yeah,
and then you have Trump basically just ignoring it or telling people to drink bleach, one of the two.
it's just a disaster of a man. Like it's just like there's not gonna be like it's not gonna go away until there's a cure at the end of the day. Like I think like with Northern Ireland, I think like when the UK sort of closed down, like including us obviously, it sort of came as a good time because it was proper blowing up in the UK,
Yeah.
or like the rest of the UK, and then here it was sort of only starting. So I feel like at the time was sort of good for us, but it's just sort of like I don't know where it's gonna go now. You know, like it's like nobody really fucking knows. Like it's the old second wave's being talked about, but fingers
feel like-
crossed that doesn't happen.
I feel like if it were to happen, I see more of a chance of the UK going in back into lockdown. I don't know if over here will be the same.
yeah.
But then
Why?
Then they're, I don't know,
Well,
just for smaller.
If Theresa,
you
if
think-
Theresa, I don't know what
I can see the UK going back into lockdown, but I can't see us going back into lockdown like Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Ireland will do their own thing.
That's the thing that
and
sort of
just
that pisses me off about the government, because it's just like, if Boris Johnson says something, fucking Arlene Foster's gonna be like, yeah, that's right, I love you so much, and then
if your
and
friends
then
Getting
ask
political.
you to go to the
and
pub.
then Sinn Féin's just gonna be like, no, we disagree with that just for the sake of it, like, because that's just Northern Ireland politics for you.
Yeah.
But I think like, if like it does rise up again in the rest of the UK, like, it's up to Northern Ireland to like make a decision on their own, like, you know.
But our cases are, I don't know.
There's
what
not
our
really.
cases are.
It's sort of on and off. Like, you have like one death like every other day, and then you go a few days without a death. So it's sort of just, I don't know. It's just tough. I think the R number and all that cracks between like 7 and 9 now as well. So,
Depressing vibes.
but here,
But we'll move on.
Yeah.
Stop talking about COVID. Because I feel like everybody has had COVID rammed down their throat in the
Yeah.
past 3 months.
I think-
But anyway, we're out and about.
it's just got to the stage now where I think people have just got used to it, and it's just, this is the way it is.
I got told off the other day in the Spar.
Why?
You're not wearing your mask, Ross.
No, I wasn't wearing a mask. I don't know what my opinions are on the whole mask situation. But I wasn't. I was in and I was getting, was it, you know, the wee ice cream blocks that you can like slice and put between wafers. Yeah.
That's the ice
So-
cream you could get, well.
Huh?
The shit is ice cream.
Shut
you
your
could get.
mouth.
I fucking hate them. It's so like, so
So,
impractical.
Apparently, I was reading that one of the really hard things to get at this present moment in time is wafers. Right? So, fun fact. I was the other day. I was in the Spar and I got this block of ice cream, and I was like, right, I need wafers with this. So I went down an aisle, and this old lady came up. Now, here's what she done: tapped me on the shoulder. Right?
Well, there's your problem.
She
right
diseased
away,
me.
then.
So there's she diseased me. So there's your problem right away. She tapped me on the shoulder to tell me that I was not adhering to the arrows on the floor. So she was like, excuse me, can you see the arrows in the floor? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry. Now, bearing at this stage, she was at the very bottom of the aisle. So I had seen her and seen the arrows. I'd seen the arrows, so I did disobey the rules. But at the same time, I wasn't walking down an aisle full of people to come back up my aisle and walk past her. So I literally I seen the wafers and I thought, happy days, target located. And I was like, right, slip down this aisle, grab the wafers. Then she walks up and taps me. Now this is where the whole thing just screwed itself, was that she tapped me to tell me if I had COVID, God love her. Do you know what I mean?
She's dead now.
Just to prove a point. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like, me and Bronan sort of experienced that in IKEA, where like they have the arrows, and it didn't happen to us, but like we were like walking, like it was like towards the end of IKEA, and we were walking up and down, and like we sort of seen someone had like walked back, and like she got told off in IKEA for like
We're just trying to make people outside the window.
For context here, Brona's standing outside the window and Thomas just can't take his eyes off her.
Oh.
Just the two of us.
Yeah, so we were in IKEA, and like we sort of seen a similar thing where like someone got told off for going like back like the opposite way. But you know, it's just the way it is.
Was this during Miss Rona? No.
It was sort of like a few weeks ago when it was starting to cool down a bit.
Oh.
But you see, that's the problem. Was it really cool down? All these people assuming that it's gone away, but is it really?
Let's wave at folk.
You're waving on us and watching us, so
She's like, what are they doing? Why are they all sitting around the table?
We're all. This is very new to us. But yeah, right. I think we've covered everything there. I don't know how long we've been recording for. How long we've been recording for?
19 minutes.
19
30
minutes.
seconds.
19 minutes. Feels like we've been recording for like 40. We'll keep it going.
What do we do? What's our time frame going to be? Is
Like half an hour.
half
Half an hour to 40 minutes. I think this is what I had said to you the other day. It was half an hour to 40 minutes. Your average car journey that someone would listen to a podcast, like I would imagine I would listen to a podcast from like Belfast to home, which is about half an hour, 40 minutes. Yeah. So we'll keep it at that.
It's an hour for us, so we can
Oh.
listen to two then. Well,
Nice. Yeah, we are from. We're all from all ends of. Well, you guys are from.
When you're from Ballymena. Stab City.
Absolutely. Huh?
Stab City.
Aye, it's a flipping.
Ballymena people just stabbing
Ballymena
each other.
has
So
turned
Craic
in
now,
a wee
holy
bit
fuck.
dodgy.
I have what's this about?
So,
I didn't know anything.
in the past few weeks, there's been a jewellery store robbed in Ballymena by absolute thugs. Absolute thugs.
Disgraced our community.
And it was funny because if you watch the video, it's on Reddit or it's on Twitter as well. You can watch the video. They
Should we
run
get it
out.
up?
Now,
Yeah.
we'll get it up. Now, one of the guys is hang on to try and find it. One of the guys is struggling to hold his trousers up, which is quite funny. But as they're running away, I nearly brought my emails up there. Dodgy.
So you want to do it in your laptop first and then throw it over?
Ballymena jewellery store.
Pornhub.com.
Jewelry store robbery.
Favourites?
Yeah.
Do you not have to put a high after Ballymena?
There, jewelry store. Here's how YouTube describes it: jewelry store raid. Oh wow!
This is so awkward, like, for me here.
So here it is.
Oh, he's dropped his phone.
He dropped his phone. Right. So watch this. He runs down. He's that busy trying to keep the kebs up. Now watch this. Now it was just funnier. Here's the other one. The absolute bandit. Now watch this. He gets out of the car. I don't know. He must have forgotten to keep his seatbelt on. Nice number plate. Someone's abandoned a child in the middle of the pavement. So yeah. So this is what's been happening in Ballymena in the past few weeks, is that we've had a jewellery store robbed, and then the other day, unfortunately, someone did get murdered. No one really knows the details of all that yet. It was somewhere in Ballymena. And so Ballymena.
It's a shithole.
Yeah. Here. No, there's some good people live in Ballymena. It's just over the past few weeks.
This isn't a bad land.
There's been a.
It's like the fucking.
There's
Gotham.
been a bit of misbehaving.
It's the
so to
Gotham.
speak.
It's the Gotham of Northern Ireland. It's the fucking crime city.
So yeah, it could be worse. We could be in
Could
Larne.
it?
We could be in Larne.
Darn.
Larne is the
Or Port of Town.
the backside of Northern Ireland, which appears to be where. Well, no wonder they've been finding so much drugs in Larne. It's been mad.
All being shipped from Ballymena though.
Yeah, they're all coming down around the coast. So yeah, we're definitely going to get someone who is from Larne, and they're going to be like, "Why does everybody just kick on Larne?" That is so
Our
true.
one listener will be from Larne, and that'll just be the end of the podcast. Just
We'll be wrote off.
flop.
Reported.
I'm going to get our wee logo back up again because I feel like it was very nice. Boom.
Oh god.
Oh my word. Right.
Having some technical
There we go.
difficulties.
So yeah. Going from now on, what's then the plans for this podcast? Where do you see us heading? What topics do you see us discussing?
Well,
Hot topics.
exciting things are in the pipeline.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Tell me more.
We've got one of, like, I don't know if it'll be the next podcast or the podcast after, but we've got two NHS workers coming on to discuss working during this pandemic.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be an interesting
I think it'll
discussion.
be interesting. So that is in the pipeline.
Two of NHS's
From
finest.
Two
Two-
different aspects as well.
Yeah,
as you
so one of them went straight in, like only started working for the NHS, like properly qualified, like during this, like literally started straight away from, like she wasn't even finished uni, and then the other one has been nursing for like maybe a few months before it all started, and she sort of had to adapt to it. So I think it'll be an interesting conversation. I will be the host.
We'll not be here.
I don't think Ross and Shay will be
We haven't
present.
got room for.
No, we
Yeah,
can
was
barely
it-
work three off. As I don't know how. I don't even know how you're gonna work it because
Here,
He's gonna set everything. We could do we could have like loads
Yeah.
of visual effects that day, like
Yeah.
zooming in and stuff.
I
I
believe
feel like that would
Close.
make two people feel who haven't done podcasts before very awkward because like we were very awkward at the start of this. I feel like we're only getting lubed up.
Luke.
Listen.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, right.
Shay's camera's just died. But yeah, here we'll try our best with this. We'll try our best.
Here, well, all you can do is your best.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Indeed.
and I think this is sort of what to expect. We started talking about we were going to do a podcast, and then we just ended up talking shit. So I think this is the way it's going to
This
go.
is the way it's gonna go.
So
We've discussed Ballymena jewelry store heists,
Heist.
proper Grand Theft Auto type stuff, and now we're on to just general things. What really annoyed me about that jewelry store robbery was like not being rude or disrespectful to anybody who rocks about in like joggers or anything, but why did they let them in the first place? Because visually you can see from them.
Lots of stuff.
2020.
I
you
know
can't
it's
say that
I
sort
know
of
it's
thing, right?
You can't just
stereotyping,
judge
but
a
like, and
person
this is the thing now where everybody was saying it's really hard now because everybody's rocking about in masks. So how do you tell? Like, there's been people driving. I don't understand why people wear masks in the
that
car.
annoys me so much.
Yeah.
Have you not seen on TikTok? It's like this guy's driving in the car and he's like, I don't understand why everyone wears masks in the car. And then he's the air conditioning on and he sort of just looks at the air conditioning and he's like,
What is the mask for? Masks are for
Masks don't actually protect you; they protect other people.
the other
from getting
people.
the
Yeah.
virus
So if
from
you have corona,
Yeah.
you're not going to be spreading it. However, if someone else has corona, you're screwed. Is that basically it?
basically.
yeah.
Right. Because I've seen a very good, well-placed diagram into masks and how they work. Where
I
you
was
can
actually
see,
just looking that now.
Wow.
Yeah.
The like sneezed into a petri dish. And is that the one you seen?
No.
No, I seen a picture of like someone sneezed into a petri dish with a mask on and one without, but the difference was insane.
Nice.
But like as you'd expect, like you literally have something.
Are they paying people now to test for the coronavirus cure? Like, do they pay people for that stuff?
I'd assume they get something out of it. Like
People get
they've
paid
been-
for everything,
they've been
like.
I
getting
remember at the
tested
start of
for
it, they were doing the trials, and you're getting $4,000 if you
Oh,
voluntarily
$4,000.
if you voluntarily injected coronavirus into yourself. But it was like a weaker strain. I think it was COVID-17 or something.
Oh, fuck! Don't start this now.
But
Wow, $4,000.
it's not bad.
Seems a bit
Well,
low.
you take it, like.
It does seem a bit low.
But it's not COVID-19. It was COVID-17.
I think there was a COVID.
Where did COVID-18 go?
Just dip that year.
Um,
Just wasn't good enough.
You get paid for everything. I seen the other day you can get paid up to $3,000 a month to eat donuts, test donuts.
Fuck.
That'll be
How
my
long
dream
have you
job.
been doing that?
So yeah, you can get paid for pretty much everything. Maybe we'll get paid for this podcast.
Here,
Big
that's
things
the
coming.
plan. I think we'll wrap it up. I think we've
Well,
I just found
Just
this
cut-
picture and you're just
sorta-
gonna cut me off.
sort of give everyone a taster of what to expect.
yeah. So yeah, thank you for listening to the Here's the Crack podcast. Why have we called it Here's the Crack?
'Cause this is where the crack is.
Yeah,
Because here
this is it.
the crack.
So make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed and leave a comment and a like.
subscribe, like, follow, share, all them things.
Show your grandparents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely show your grandparents.
Yeah.
That's the market we're going for.
Our
yeah.
demos 1 to 100.
Call your grannies and grannies. But yeah, if you have listened, we're sorry. Thank you very much. And yeah, we'll be back with another one.